In this video, you will learn the different pathways of each yarn position. The draw thread is on the first position, the furthest to the left on the machine. Thread the yarn through the furthest left yarn control unit, which goes directly above the cone. From there, guide it through the first guide on the top left of the machine, counting front to back. Use the first lateral yarn control unit, also counted front to back. Then, bring the yarn through the first feeder. On the first 3 feeders, the yarn passes the back of the feeder straight down through the tip. Going from left to right, the second position is for the waste yarn. Thread the yarn through the second yarn control unit. Guide it through the second guide on the top left of the machine, counting front to back. Use the second lateral yarn control unit and bring the yarn to the second feeder. Make sure to make a straight line. Time for your first knitting colour on the third position. Take the yarn up through the yarn control unit and through the third guide on the top left. Thread the third lateral yarn control unit. When guiding the yarn back into the machine, make sure to use the extra guide to ensure the yarn runs without any friction. When threading the third feeder, be aware not to cross any other feeders or yarns. Your second knitting colour goes on the fourth position. This path goes through the fourth yarn control unit, guides on the top left, lateral yarn control unit, and the fourth feeder. This path also uses an extra guide before going through the feeder. On the 4th, 5th and 6th feeder, the yarn passes the front of the feeder straight down through the tip. Use the second last path for your third knitting yarn. This is the 5th yarn control unit. Guide on the top left, lateral control unit and feeder. The path to the feeder is clear, so there is no extra guide here. Do remember to not cross any other yarns or feeders. If all went well, you should now have a clear trail for your last yarn. From the furthest right cone holder, through the yarn control unit above, then through the most rear guide, lateral yarn control unit and feeder. When all the yarns are threaded correctly, they should not be crossing or touching anything but the pink guiding rings for their pathways.